Episode 3 of RLDS, everybody! We're nearing the end in no time. So what happened in this episode? Well, after a brief recap of what happened in episode 1 and 2, well, that's different. Yes, we were recapping episode 1, oddly enough, but to be fair, this is a 4-part series, so odds are, or since it's only 4 episodes, might as well tell you what's happened in every episode, considering there wasn't much. So, yeah. I don't mind that as much, considering everything. Although there is 4 parts and extra, but we'll do that when we get to that, of course. So yeah, in this one, and after we get the main meat of it, we find out that Lehel's wife, girlfriend, thank you, motorcycle outside. That was exactly what I needed to do. Ugh. Sorry, neighbors. Anyway, we found out that Lehel's wife, girlfriend thing has left him due to her being concerned about Lehel's well-being, you know? She found out what they've been doing in the past 6 months, and that worries her greatly. So, you know, it makes sense. I don't know if there's any behind-the-scenes information about it, but honestly, I really don't want to know. Because if it's personal, I'll butt out. This seems like something that could be a personal issue. If it's not, it just turns out like she just didn't want to be part of it. That's great and all that, but it also doesn't feel like it's any of my business. So if it's personal, I'll butt out. You know? Anyway, what happens with that? After that, we find... I can English good. We find out that Lehel got his Blue Eyes card from Tomas after the tournament, which happened apparently 2 years ago, even though according to how this is going down, Agaton's wife was stolen 9 months after the tournament, and then, of course, there was a 6-month gap in between when they were finding all the cards, so that's 15 months, and there are supposed to be 24 months in a year. So not really 2 years later, not more like a year and a half. And even then, due to basic math, that would be 18 months to get to have a year, so it's not even a year and a half yet. A year and a fourth. I'm a nerd. Ay, ay, ay. Timelines are confusing, are they not? I mean, I guess maybe, yeah, there was another transition of time they just didn't know about. Like, maybe it was longer than 6 months, maybe it was 9 months or something, and I just misread the subtitle. I don't know. But, I don't know. Let's just have that be the main takeaway. I don't know what I'm talking about. Either way, after that, what happened next? Oh yeah, after we find out that Tomas gave him back the Blue Eyes, we go on a journey to find one of the Exodia Pieces holders, and the guy is just staying by himself on his lonesome on top of the hill, like he's expecting this or something. Oh well. No, anyway. It's a 2-on-1 handicap duel. I consider it like the Paradox duel in that sense of how these rulings work. Because usually when these sort of things happen, usually tag duels like 2-on-1 duels or 3-on-1 duels go in a certain order. It's either like Yuma, Shark / Reginald / Reggie or whatever, and Yuma, Shark, and Kite / Kaito versus Faker, in which it was Faker, then Yuma. No, Faker, then Shark, then Faker, then Yuma, then Shark, then Kite. There. Faker, then Yuma, then Shark, then Kite, and then we go back to Faker. So Faker has to wait for 3 people, and then he gets his turn. Thank goodness he always drew all the perfect cards to stop them. Otherwise, he'd be screwed. Because otherwise, realistically, by the third guy, he should have been fucked. Because yeah, I could buy him buying up for 1 or 2 turns, but by the third time, he'd be like, I used up all my resources. Anyway. The other way of doing it is the Paradox way, which was, of course, Yusei, Jaden, and Yugi versus Paradox, in which case the turn order was Yusei, then Paradox. Wait, no. It was Paradox, then Yusei, Paradox, then Jaden, Paradox, then Yugi, and then we went back to Paradox again. And then the cycle began anew. So that's just the turn order I see it as. It's a bit more better making one player act as 3. Also, the guy gets 8,000 light points. So yeah, I explained all that stuff when really you guys probably figured it out for yourself, but that's the kind of guy I am. I'm a nice guy like that. Anyway, the way this works out is he's got the new summoning mechanic at the time, because this universe takes place in 2011. So, you know, Synchro Summoning is still the new shit. And his main thing is Colossal Blighter in the Assault mode, which don't quote me, but I think that was a little bit later in the Synchro line. But to be fair, he's also turn 1, Buster Blader, the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman. So, who am I to judge, you know? We already said fuck the timeline of when cards were released, so, you know, make of that what you will. Either way, it's a pretty epic duel. It's out Colossal Blighter Assault mode. manages to keep bringing it back because he can do that. Then and he gets to bring back Agaton's Buster Blair and use it to kill him. No, wait, no, Buster Blair doesn't kill him. He just causes problems for them. And then have Glanville Fire Dog finish off Agaton, but then in Agaton Space Down manages to save Lehel, and then Lehel saves them all. Hallelujah, with Blue Eyes, of course. So yeah, if you want to count that as Agaton's first on-screen loss, you can, but by doing that, you also technically count in episode 2 the tag duel where Thomas's life points hit 0, but still Beze won the duel for them. So you consider that still technically if Thomas's team wins, does that override his individual loss? Make of that what you will. So that's yours to decide. I consider the fact that since Agaton's team won, that overrides the fact that he lost. So that's just my way of looking at it. See, Agaton, see, Lehel, even when I lose, I still lose winning in the end. So we got the 4th of 5 pieces of Exodia. One more to go, everyone, and we're also, of course, going to find in the final round Thomas disguised as Wicked. I'm kidding, of course. It's going to be the guy who stole. It's going to be Nemesis. Who else were you expecting, really? He's got the final piece of Exodia. We're going to go duel him and get the final piece of Exodia and all that jazz. So that's all well and good. Also, I found out why we have the fake cards, just because that's apparently supposed to be a callback as to why, like how back in old school, no one really cared if you had the fake card or not. It just, it is really classic Yu-Gi-Oh! When you think about it, though. Like, no one cares if it's a real card or not. They just care if it's a card, and if you can somewhat understand it. Like the freaking, I always forget the fake Jinzo, which like, once this card exists based up on the it's amazingly bad Yu-Gi-Oh! But it's hilarious how bad it is. I've seen one where Pot of Greed was a rank 2 card. It's like, what? Wasn't even a monster, it was a rank 2 spell card. It was just, and its effect was like, its effect was like, destroy this card, then draw 2 cards. So the cost of it was, you have to destroy the card, which is, or rather, draw 2 cards to destroy this card. So it was the cost of drawing 2 cards destroyed the monster. So it was like hilariously terrible. I don't know. I love fake Yu-Gi-Oh cards just for the sheer how bad they are or how bad English it is. But you know, and again, to be fair, I guess at the end of the day, I prefer fake Yu-Gi-Oh cards to just not having the cards in general. So why mocking the fake cards? I do still prefer this to something like how Prez does it. We're just like, I summon Atlantean Pikeman, who is now Red Eyes Black Dragon because I said so. So, you know, make of that what you will. So, I don't know. It's just my way of looking at it. So, why mock the fake cards and all that stuff? I do it out of love because I completely understand why you would do such a thing. I proxy cards too, considering I have a limit as to the cost of things. I have a limit of $15 for every card. If a card exceeds like $15, I proxy. Unless it's a monster, in which case sometimes I work around it, try to come up with a way around it. But most of the time, if it's over $15, pass. I'll find another way. But either or, I still really enjoyed this episode. It was a 2-on-1 duel, but hey, it had a lot going on in it, so I can't really say it was boring. So yeah, all things considered, another good episode. I'm looking forward to the next episode. See ya.